Yeah, Nebraska was, they were the tougher team, they were the more connected team. I thought the start of the game was going to be critical, and I was right.
Accessibility shortcut.
I just felt like we needed to get off to a good start with this crowd and not allow them to get off to the start they did, with 10-2 or 12-2 or whatever it was. And then I think we had some decent looks at the basket, but with every miss, I thought their defense had a little more teeth to it, and we just didn't respond or react to it very well.
Questions for anybody?
Jason, what made it so difficult from their defense to get into your guys' offense at points?
There was just some points I felt like we would get a little bit sped up. We worked on it all week throughout practice, just the type of defense that they would play, and I feel like we handled it decently well. Like, we were getting pretty good looks. A lot of them were falling in the first half, and I feel like that kind of spiraled into us not being able to get back into what we were doing. I mean, I don't know if it was a confidence thing where the shots weren't falling, or if it was the environment, but I don't know. We just couldn't get shots to fall, and that was just a big part of it.
Back and mentioned that the start was crucial. Did it feel like it just kind of snowballed on you at the beginning once they got up?
Yeah, I mean, we cut it to 6 there, and then I think there was 2 misses, offensive rebound, and then they ended up with a 3-point play on the second one of those. That can't happen. And for the most part, they got 8 offensive rebounds, we got 9. But that was a critical one, I felt, because I thought we had gained some of the momentum back, and was trying to get to that locker room down 6 or 7 instead of 14.
Mac, what did you see? I know you have to watch the film, but what did you see with the issues with the offense today? Did you get the shots you wanted and they just didn't fall? Or
I thought the first half, our shooters, I thought had pretty good shots. There was a couple I didn't like, but there's a reason Nebraska gives up more threes than anybody in the country. That's kind of their philosophy. They're going to send you hard to baseline. They're going to trap it. If you can get it out of there successfully, you're probably going to get a decent look. Their second efforts are really good with a late challenge, and that probably was in our head a little bit. Having said that, we've worked on that all week, knowing that was their technique defensively. But like I said, once they got ahead, it was it's like there was blood in the water and we were in trouble.
Mac, Austin had a pretty good game today, considering how the shooting was kind of going. What did you see from him in kind of attempting to start up some offense?
Yeah, he did a good job of finding holes in their defense. I thought some of the other guys didn't read the situation and flashed to the right spot, and Austin's got a feel for a game that way, where I think he can help us, and he's getting better. That's why he's playing a little bit more, and I think with Hudson being out, he's done a good job of taking advantage of the opportunity that's been presented to him, and he was the best today in terms of understanding what needed to be done and how to do it.
Jason, as one of the team's leaders, how do you help guys move forward from this one?
Throughout the season, there's going to be games like these, and obviously it's really tough to come into an environment like this and play in front of a crowd like this. But I mean, there's going to be times that stuff like this happens, and we have to be able to rally with each other and help each other through these times, because it's one game. It's not the end of the world for us. Like, there's still a lot of season left for us to improve, for us to learn off of our mistakes from this game, and we just have to have a next game mentality. We're going to learn from what we did wrong this game, and we're going to improve on it for next game.
Jason, how important is it to kind of have this now week-ish off to be able to come off of this game and get ready for the next one?
I feel like it's pretty important because there's, like I said before, there's a lot of things that we're going to be learning from this game, and having the amount of time that we have from now until we play our next game is going to be crucial for us in order to fix those mistakes. And there's a lot of it is going to be fixed on the court, and a lot of it's also going to be fixed in the film room, because there's a lot of things that the coaches see that we don't see, and they're going to help us figure them out and get us right before our next game.
Mac, you've seen every one of Fred's teams here. I guess what separates this group? I mean, off to their best start in almost 30 years.
Yeah, I was telling Fred, I think their role players are really champions in their role, and that's a little bit harder to accomplish in this day and age, because guys don't necessarily stay in one place. But you know, Sam Hoiberg was the difference in the game today, and I don't think. Matter of fact, I know because I've known Sam a long time. Sam doesn't care if he scores. Sam doesn't care if he gets an assist. Sam just wants to win. And you know, I think Cale Jacobson falls into that same boat. I think they just do whatever their team needs them to do, and it's not about them. And you know, then they understand where their bread's buttered with Rink and Price is playing at a high level, and you know, Jamarcus, you know, compared to 2 years ago, has made really good strides. And you know, Frager, I think, has made great strides from a senior in high school to where he is today. So I just think they have some guys that really do their job well, and it's hard to get them flustered because of that. So you know, if you'd have told me, you know, Price was going to get 13 and you know, Rink got 20, but at least had to work for it, I'd have thought it would have been a pretty competitive game. But you know, Sam was really the difference.
Two more.
Mac, I think you mentioned Friday that you guys were going to have to get one either today or K-State. Maybe you shouldn't. How tough is it to come in here and have that kind of shooting performance and one you guys kind of needed?
Yeah, I mean, we had kind of, you know, we started the season really shooting the ball poorly, and then Vegas and our last home game, there were signs of some guys coming out of that. So I expected a better performance today than what we had. But you know, I'm not really concerned about our opponents right now. Like, there's just so many things we have to get better at. I've got to hold some guys to higher standards on a few things, and that's, at the end of the day, that's on me. You know, your team ends up being what you allow, and there's been some slippage and an inability to take things from the practice floor to the game floor that we have to get fixed. And I think we have some guys that are getting better, and you know, those guys that are getting better are going to play a little bit more.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.